My name is Sandra Thompson. I live in Barberville, Kentucky. I work for Knox County Schools and am a one-on-one instructional assistant. I have two sons. They are 19 and 21. My husband and I will be married 14 years in May. I have a very close family. I live next door to my mom and dad. I feel very fortunate to have them together after 40 years. I have one sister and two nieces. I love my girls. We cook together and play games. I'm very shy when I first meet someone. After a few minutes, I can talk to anyone. I enjoy working with the youth at my church. I love to cook. My husband is one of my biggest fans. Even when I know something doesn't taste the best, he still brags on it. I have a story I would like to share. It is about my grandfather. I just call him Papa. He was always good to me. He would take me with him to the garden to help. I knew I was more in the way than helping. He would plant potatoes or hoe the garden or whatever he was doing. He would always tell the story of when I was really little and he took me to the garden. And he had to bring me back because he said orange would attract the sweat bees. When I was older, about 13 or so, he asked me one day to help him herd cattle from one pasture to another. Of course, there was only 3 or 4 cattle. There wasn't very many, but I was afraid of them. He said, just stand there and they won't come your way. But of course they did. And I was scared. But I did what I'd seen other people do. I just stood there and flapped my arms and screamed. And they turned the other way. As always, Papa bragged on me and what a good job I did. When I was about 15, we went out for something one day to the store or somewhere, and he decided to let me drive home. This was before I had driver's license. But he'd give me a lot of pointers on taking curves and using my brakes right, stopping, slowing down before I got in a curve and giving it the gas as I came back out. And when I was about 22, Papa had an apple tree in the edge of his garden. It looked like it was about to fall down. He said, I believe we can push it over. Well, of course, we couldn't push it over, but I did get poison ivy. Papa felt very bad about it. When I was 28, after 6 weeks of suffering due to a stroke, Papa passed away. I learned a lot from Papa. His patience was not one of the things I learned. I often think about him when I'm driving or when my husband and I are working in our little garden. I love my Papa and I miss him. Sometimes I think of things I would like to have asked or some milestone I know he would like to have been a part of. He will always be missed, but at least I have my memories.